There are some things in this world that go way beyond human understanding. Things that cannot be explained, things that most people don't want to know about. That is where we come.
Do you know what the most frightening thing in the world is? It's fear.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's all true. The boogeyman is real, and you found him.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
I see dead people.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
They're here.
And good evening, maybe? Hold on. Let's get up
going.
here. Hold on.
Holy
there
crap, we did it, guys. What is up?
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, what time it is, wherever you're going to be listening to this podcast. But right now, we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
sure
right?
are.
We are live here at Ghost Hollow
Hollow.
Wolf Hollow in Rockford, Illinois. This is Ghost Freaking Talking. So hold on, let's do the right intro, ladies and gentlemen. And good evening, and welcome back to Ghost
Freaking
Talking.
Ghost Freaking Talking, your paranormal podcast where you don't want to take it home to mama, because we get kind of questionable every once in a while here. But
more than questionable. What do you mean?
If we sound a little muffled, it's because we do have face masks on.
Yes.
It's a Illinois mandate here for face masks still.
Gotta stay safe.
And if you guys have tuned in to other live podcasts from Wolf Hollow, you'll see that we did the face mask things too.
Yep, during COVID
but
season.
I think I am going to switch over to like the paper one, because
that one keeps falling
this
down.
one, no, it just fogging out.
Oh, fogging out. Yeah.
Imagine wearing glasses.
But
Yeah,
I am your humble host. My name is Nick.
I am Trenton.
And I am Newsroom Nessie.
Newsroom Nessie, and my mind broke.
I have one in the car.
Do you have one extra in the car? Okay.
I'll go get one in a minute.
So we are here live at Wolf Hollow. I know it sounds like we're a little out of it right now because we had a little technical difficulty coming on, but we figured that out, and we're here, and we're in a new setup here at Wolf Hollow.
Yeah, they have a new room in the front.
They have an awesome new room set up here in the front for events. We are going to be doing 2 live podcasts here today.
Yes.
2.
We are going to be interviewing Peter Dunn from Twisted Crypt.
Awesome.
He is the owner of Twisted Crypt Haunted House here in Rockford, Illinois. And we're going to talk to him about, some of the fun stuff that you can, expect from their place. And we'll talk a little bit of like history and stuff like that of haunted houses and my fear of haunted houses. Like I said, I could go into
a real haunted house,
and be fine. But when somebody's going to jump out and jump scare me, I will.
Not a fan of that,
I will lose my shit. So, so we are, like I said, live here at Wolf Hollow here in Rockford, Illinois. If you guys are in the area, go ahead and stop on in. We do have some stickers and buttons here if you guys want to come and get some Ghost Freaking Talking swag.
Yeah, come say hi. And
some of that swiggity swag.
tell us your spooky stories.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do here, Newsroom Nessie, the newsroom.
If it's going to be open, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what, we call her Newsroom Nessie because she is in the Spread Shop newsroom.
Typically, yes.
If you guys don't know what Spread Shop is our merch shop. And where can they go and order Ghost Freaking Talking merch? Do you remember?
Oh, they can go to gftpodcast.myspreadshop.com.
Oh, look at you. I forgot it.
I know. I was going to say it's been a while since I've said it. Let's see if I can remember.
Oh, but yeah. So go and get your awesome Ghost Freaking Talking gear. You guys can see us live here on YouTube, but this will be dropped podcast version
Yes.
Later this week. So if we sound a little weird, or because sometimes with these live ones they go a little wonky sometimes, just because there's so much activity, because we are live on location, and it's just
so much sound.
It's not as controlled as being in the GFT dungeon.
Yes.
So there's no barking dogs.
No.
No shots
today,
guys.
So you guys aren't going to be taking any shots here, but I guess we're gonna boot Newsroom Nessie out.
Yeah, I'll go get your mask. I shall return.
And you over here, Trent, you're gonna be running the chat room.
Yes, I will be running the chat room, guys.
Because we do have a live chat going here on YouTube. So if you guys want to include yourselves in the conversation here, we will be reading your comments here. You want to get Peter?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm in control now, guys. I own the chat room.
All right.
Don't do stupid things.
Don't do stupid things. While we're waiting for Peter here for a second, we want to plug our friend Mr. Hinkle Jaws. If you go to kevinahinkle.com, you guys can order some awesome stickers out there. He has some new Halloween line of stickers coming out. Which include like Chucky and Michael Myers, and he's got the classic vampire. Yeah, that's what's in this folder. We'll show it later on during a break.
Yeah.
But we do have our special guest here, Peter Dunn.
Yep,
right?
that's me.
The owner of Twisted Crypt.
Twisted Crypt Haunted House in Rockford, Illinois.
Oh, nice. And the address for Twisted Crypt?
5420 East State Street here in Rockford. And that is located between OSF St. Anthony Medical Center and Rockford University.
Oh, very cool. How long have you guys been running Twisted Crypt?
So we've been running Twisted Crypt now 9 years, but 8 years operating, because we did not open last year because of COVID.
Oh, because of COVID.
Because of COVID. So 9 years in existence, eight seasons operating to the public.
Huh.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to change my mask here because this one's a little easier to talk through.
Imagine having your mask inside.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it says here, because took a picture of your poster here that we had here. You guys are running from September 17th to October 31st. So you guys opened up last night.
Yep, last night was our opening night. It was a good night.
Yeah,
it was a lot
you
of
had
fun.
a good showing.
Yep, good showing of guests, and it's early on when we opened, and we were only one of 2 haunts open in the state of Illinois last night. And, September 17th, 90 degrees outside, people are like, what are you doing? And it's like, we've got a crew of, almost 40 people inside.
Dang.
And we're a true production. It's not kind of one of those old school haunts where you just walk around and somebody in dark clothes jumps out. It's kind of, you walk through a living play, in essence.
Oh, very cool.
So our actors, we open up early to kind of get the rust out, get them in there, get them used to our systems, get them used to their cues, get them used to dealing with the public, and get the ball rolling. And then come October, when we're absolutely slammed, it's like second nature.
Second nature for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I haven't been to a haunted house myself in like years, because the fans out here know that I will definitely go into a haunted house to hunt ghosts.
Yep.
But when it comes to going into a production haunted house, it's like it freaks me out.
Yeah, freaks a lot of people out.
Because I think the last time I was at a haunted house was in high school, and there used to be one run on the corner of Harlem and North Second.
Yep.
Was it JC's haunted house?
Well, Harlem and North Second, that would probably be either Phantom Regiment or Harlem Community Center back in the day.
Yeah, wasn't Harlem Community Center because it religious tie to it, because
that could have been House of Horrors then. I mean, that was very brief because of the religious ties. Our church put that on here.
Yeah. Yep. And it basically you walk through and they preach to you about abortion, suicide, and stuff like that, and then at the end you walk through Heaven's Tunnel and stuff like that. I'm like, this is very odd for a haunted house.
Yes.
I get what you're trying to do here, but I don't think it ties in too good with...
Yeah, and like anything, I mean, there are good haunted houses, there are bad haunted houses, there are, trying to push agendas, not trying to push agendas. With us at Twisted Crypt, the biggest thing for us is we don't care whether you laugh, scream, cry, run, just have fun. We consider ourselves an entertainment company. So as long as you're entertained, we're good. And a lot of people these days are extremely desensitized.
Yeah.
So, the jump scares, we can make you flinch.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, we had people last night running out the door screaming, and we had other people come out kind of giggling, laughing. And as long as you're having fun, obviously we want to scare you, but as long as you're having fun, we win.
Oh, definitely. So you said it's like a production.
Mm-hmm.
So do you change that every year, or is it something that you run with?
Yep, it's changed up every year. If we have fan favorite rooms, we'll keep the fan favorite rooms, but we'll continue to enhance those rooms. Okay. So we want to keep the show fresh, and we want to keep people coming back and not experiencing the same thing every single trip. We get repeat customers throughout the season, but year to year we go in. We'll change up floor plan. We'll change up rooms. If the room is the same from the previous year and we've just enhanced it, we put a different actor in there. Again, we're always trying to evolve and make things better. But instead of just, hey, let's just walk through this place, our actors are trained. When you get into their room, they're going to stop you. Mm-hmm. And they're going to interact with you. And pre-COVID, they got in your personal space. And their goal is to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. See, I think that's my thing, is that personal space thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what gets me.
Yep.
My friend went to a haunted house
safe word, and they can do whatever they want to. It's like, yeah, that's not a haunted house.
Yeah. That's something extra there.
That's something, and to each his own. Whatever your life choice is, so be it. But yeah, the extreme. Obviously, with COVID, those are and lawsuits. Few and far between these days. But yeah, they exist or existed.
Yeah, because she said that they had to wear. To distinguish between the people that could be touched and not touched, they had to wear like a glow stick on their.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's really wild, let alone you're paying to go into a haunted house where I'm like, ugh, but you're going to pay extra on top of it for them to really mess with you.
Yeah, and people come up to our security, and we have security. We take security of our guests and our crew very seriously. And people come up to us, can they touch us? We heard this haunt so-and-so, they can touch you. It's like, nope. You're not allowed to touch actors or props, and we're not allowed to touch you. We don't.
Very cool.
We don't do that.
Yeah, that's really cool, and that would make me feel a lot more safer going through it, because it's not like I said, I can go into like the most freakiest houses in the world. You could lock me into a basement where I've known 16 people were murdered, and I'm fine with that. You get me crawling through like a little tunnel or something in one of these haunted houses, and then all of a sudden, all my panics just start coming out.
Well, and that's, like I talked about, desensitized guests these days. They try to take it, they're so desensitized because of media and Hollywood and all that.
Oh, definitely.
They take it to that next level with the touching and the extreme haunts. And, that's when they come to us. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. But we try to make it as awkward as possible because, it's tough to scare people. So, yeah, getting into your personal space or trying to make you feel uncomfortable, that's what it's kind of resorted to. And not everybody does it successfully, but we tell our actors that are inside the attraction, don't go after the leader. The leader is the leader for the reason. That they're usually the tough guy. They're probably the most desensitized. Don't go for the chicken shit in the back, that's cowering. Right. Go for the middle of the group, but read the group. Read who you can interact with, who wants to interact with you, who's there to play along with you, and who just wants to be left alone and enjoy the show. And, they pick and choose, and that's part of their training is reading the group. But making people uncomfortable is always a good thing.
Very cool.
In a safe environment.
Yeah, definitely. So how long does it typically take for you to walk through your haunt?
Depending on the guest's pace, we've timed, the guests that just they don't want to interact, they just want to go through, probably 15 to 18 minutes. The guests that are doing it right, just normal show, probably 20 to 22 minutes. And the guests that are really taking their time trying to take it all in, that aren't being pushed by our crew, saying, come on, we got to get going. You got more people coming behind you, probably close to 28 minutes. So anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour, depending on the guest's pace. And it all depends on the guest.
Very cool. Do you theme out each year? Do you have a theme that you run this year?
So we've done the hillbillies, House of 1,000 Corpses. That was the first couple of years.
Cool.
We did kind of Eclectic Monster Museum, year 3. We've done a haunted manor. We've done an orphanage. Again, it's storytelling. It's that production. It's that walk-through play. So we try to have an overall theme umbrella, and the rooms and the actors fit that theme umbrella. This year, it's very Manson family.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, because I came to an event here at Wolf Hollow, and a couple of your actors were here.
Okay.
And there was a China doll. She was really creepy, but it was the other lady here that knew she could get to me while I was here.
I think I know. I probably know who you're talking about.
She was kind of she had this crazy hair, kind of like
that's Mama.
Crazy Mama. Yeah,
Yep, Crazy Mama.
Yeah.
She's been with us from the very beginning. She's kind of been typecasted to that Crazy Mama because she's so good at it.
Yeah.
And actually, in 2019, I always want to say last year, but in 2019, HauntedHouseChicago.com, which is, they cover all the big boys in the Chicagoland area, all the haunted attractions. They just started covering our area a few years ago. And in 2019, they awarded her the top actor in the area.
Oh, that is very cool. She sells it.
Yeah,
she sells it real good.
She is so good. And like I said, she's been with us from the very beginning, and she's 100% a fan favorite.
Very cool. We do have comments in
I
the
was about
chat
to say,
here.
Mr. Kevin Hinkle, our longtime fan, he said, it reminds me of the alive human are always the biggest threats in a zombie film, aside from the zombies, of course. Also, oh hell no, if they had a fish boy from the House of a Thousand Corpse, I'm there. I'm out.
we have a fishing room.
Oh,
I don't have a fish boy, but I have a fishing room right now. That is, that's like one of the rooms. Every year we try to. It's like, what, a fishing room? And it's like we one room. There's one room a year where we kind of push the envelope. And it's like, let's do this, and it either works out really well or it's kind of a disaster. Last night, guests were coming out of the attraction like that fishing room was outstanding. And we do, not only is it the actor in there and the props in there, we have a really good lighting package. Obviously, there's fog, there's sound effects in every single room, and there's smells in every single room. And whatever you're thinking right now that you would smell in a fishing room, you're right.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, because without giving anything away, I kind of think like and when you say a fishing room, I'm thinking like a rain slicker guy.
Rain slicker guy. We try to avoid cliches. You're not going to see zombies because it's so done. We had a rule for years: no clowns. But we found a couple actors. Yeah.
And there you go. You gotta go ruin it like that.
Yeah,
because that's my one major fear is clowns.
Yeah, and we found a couple that were. I'm like, I'll break my rule. You're in. Let's go. So we try to avoid the cliche characters like pirate or any of that stuff. So obviously, I'm a huge movie buff. So when we were designing Fishing Room, it's like, okay, obviously you have I know what you did last summer, and, that kind of thing. It's like, okay.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
It's like you can take inspiration from that character, but, Quint, Jaws. It's like, I want the old, gruff, fisherman that, and again, we're
His
Manson
cold,
family.
dark eyes.
So it's like, and it's like, I want that Manson family. So we tell our actors, all right, you're part of this family. You're living in this compound. I need backstory. Why do you like fishing? What do you do for the family? And it's all tied into that. And so far, the fishing cabin's been a nice little success.
Very cool.
That's good.
And if you want to get your awesome Ghost Frickin' Talkin' merch, make sure you hit us up at gftpodcast.myspreadshop.com. And they have all kinds of different colors and styles. And make sure you get your coffee cups and even your dog bandana.
Yeah. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. We had a little internet snafu. For some reason, my computer was connecting to like that. If you have Xfinity, you get Xfinity Anywhere, and it was connecting to that instead of the Wapala one. So it was kind of a spotty connection. So now we're at excellent connection. All right, so we are back. All right, so we were when we were last talking, we were talking about the fishing room, and people are going crazy about the fishing room.
Yep.
So when what other type of rooms,
without giving too much away, because that's part of the surprise. I mean, you look at the different rooms that you would think would be in a haunted house, and we've probably done them. Whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom or a family room or a bedroom. Anything you would think you would see in an actual house, we've done. Now, a lot of people say, well, fishing room, that wouldn't be in a house. And it's like, yeah, but these people, this Manson family type people, they can have anything they want in their house. So, again, it's about mixing it up and keeping it fresh. And that's on the actor to explain. If somebody walks in and be like, why is this here? The actor should have a reason and should be able to answer that question while in character, while continuing the story.
Very cool. So in years past, what are your guys' numbers, like walkthrough numbers? Like, people, how many people do you get per year usually?
It varies year to year. Obviously, year one's number's low, and every year we build it up as we build our audience up. But, we'll put anywhere on a good year, 10 to 15,000 people through. And that's over 19 nights. We only have 19 nights of operation, mostly just weekends. So, I don't believe, I'd have to double check, we've never put over 15,000 people through, but we've come close.
Very cool. And you said that you get repeat people.
Oh yeah, we've got dedicated fans. Last night being, opening night, our opening night last night, the majority of fans, just the casual consumer that was looking for something to do on the weekend, that Googled something, hey, I went to a haunted house as a teenager, let's see if there's any haunted houses. Those people usually don't come in until the last 2 weeks of October, or maybe the last 3 weeks of October. They're the ones that are just, oh my gosh, Halloween's a week away, we got to do something that's Halloween. The people that are like the hardcore fans, our hardcore fans were out last night. And they were the ones that show up every single year. They come out, oh, this room's better, this is awesome, this is cool, oh, this actor's back. We've developed, which is very humbling to me. I mean, I'm a Rockford guy, local guy. We started this as a hobby. With that, all of a sudden, it's like, we've got fans. It's like, that's cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah. We've had that happen too, where we'll be out somewhere, and I think because we have another thing that we do online, we do like Lego stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're called the Brickhead Family, and we were out in Chicago at a zoo, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's the Brickhead Family!" It's like, we got fans that you can recognize us.
It's pretty cool. And it's taken us, the thing that drives me nuts is, there's still people in the Rockford area that don't know we're there. And it's like, marketing is really fickle. Trying to market yourself and get yourself out there, and you can waste a lot of money doing it. And we're a small business. I mean, this is Twisted Crypt for us, for ownership and for management. Like I said, it's a hobby. It's a clubhouse of ours. I have a real dedicated job that I go to, and my partners have dedicated jobs that they go to. This is more of a hobby fun. We started as home haunters. So home haunters mean, on Halloween, you answer the door, you hand out candy, and you decorate your yard and your house. And every year we got bigger and bigger doing that, and we got on the news, and we're like, maybe we can try this professionally. And then we took that leap, and year 1 and 2 were rough, like it is for any new business, but then we started to fly. And, every year we just want to continue to build it more and more.
Very cool. And so do you keep is this a building that you run all year? Like, I know you don't run the business all year round, but is it something that, is this a place that you keep your stuff in there, or do you guys have to, bring all the stuff out and back in?
Very fortunate, because a lot of haunted houses that lease space or rent space, they have to tear it down at the end of the year. They have to put it up every year, tear it down. I mean, back-breaking work. And there's some haunts in the area that have to do that, and I do not envy them in any way, shape, or form. We are very fortunate where we've been in the same position or same location for these 9 years, and we had to tear down and put back up after year 1. And after we did that, we're like, this is stupid. We're just going to be right back here next year. And so we worked out a deal with our landlord that to keep the attraction up year-round, kind of a storage lease. Can't operate during that time period, but then we have our operating lease as well. And when it's the storage lease in effect, we can go in there and tinker with things, and that's when we get some work done casually. And then operating is what we're in right now, and we go.
Very cool. Because I want to say you took over was it like a Staples or?
We're right now. Yeah, so in Rockford, for the people that know Rockford, Illinois, it's the old Circuit City strip mall. I mean, Circuit City, named from the past. We're down the road from that. So we're in a 10,000 square foot building, and every square foot is used.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we've been there for all 9 years now. So we're right. It's kind of tough because we're up on the hill, and as of right now, we have no neighbors, which is probably a good thing for us, but it's an old abandoned shopping mall.
It does.
Which kind of adds to our feel.
I was going to say, when you drive past that, area, because, like I said, it was a Circuit City or something like that, and it was like, it's very weird feeling because I think Tumbleweeds was there.
Yep.
And that's empty.
Yep.
And it's like you have Uncle Nick's in front of you.
Yep.
And then, and you guys.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, it gives that ambiance of, kind of that abandoned kind of feel to it.
It very abandoned shopping center. The weeds are rampant. The parking lot's not the best. It adds to the feel. And then all of a sudden, you walk in the lobby and here's this house that we built inside the lobby. So a lot, we get some fans that want to nitpick us, which is fine. It's like, why is there a house in the middle of a shopping center? It's like, come on, man. Let's just have some fun.
Yeah, right.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
I could probably write a story for it if I need to, but it definitely gives that eerie. When you pull up at night and you're like, where? There's nothing else up there. It's just us. It's very eerie.
Yeah. So I'm saying, what are your guys' hours that you run here?
So in September, we're open Fridays and Saturdays. No Sunday operations in September.
Okay.
But once we hit October, it's Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Fridays and Saturdays are 7 to 11:30 p.m. and then Sundays 7 to 10 p.m.
Cool. And it says regular season general admission is $13.
Yep.
A fast pass is $18 until October 10th.
October 15th is when the prime season kicks in. So we kind of do it. In all honesty, we do this strategy for our fans. A lot of haunts are charging $20 or $30 a pop. I know some of my competitors here in town are at $20 or $15. We charge $13 the first half of the season, and that's kind of a discounted break to our fans because, like I said, our hardcore fans are the ones that come out early and often, and then we up it to $15 where it should be for the second half of the season when we get really busy.
Very cool. And then you talking about prime season. It says prime season is general admission is $15. Yep. And fast pass is $20.
Yep, it's always $5 more to skip the line. So if you're there and you're very impatient, you can pay $5 extra to skip the line. But we have line entertainment, and our waiting area inside the building is fully themed out. And the way we look at it is the second you enter our front door, the show starts.
Yeah, and I like that you give the line entertainment.
Yep.
I went to it was like a Cirque du Soleil type thing a couple of years ago, and it was like a Halloween theme towards it. And while you're waiting in line for anything, they had like actors that walked around and coming up with chainsaws on you and stuff like that. And so that definitely gives a little addition than rather than standing in line at like a Great America or something like that,
And, when you walk in, now we have outside waiting for overflow, but when you walk into our front door, you are immediately immersed into the story we're trying to tell. And, with the music and the lights and the fog and everything. And we have the characters roaming the lobby. And the doll, Esther, our doll that you met up at Wolf Hollow, she's in our lobby wandering around. And we do play old black and white movies up on a big screen. So we have black and white movies going. We have characters walking around. We have the music and the fog. Try to, again, when you walk into our front door, the story begins.
Very cool. I guess I have to ask this because I was watching videos on TikTok of Universal's doing their haunted thing down there, and all the characters have to wear masks.
Yes.
Do you guys have to wear masks? Or
as of right now, COVID to me personally is what you decide to do during the pandemic is your life choice.
Yes.
But
we're on the same page.
Whatever you decide, that's where we live in a free country. However, because of state mandates, our actors are all in masks, and again, we tell them you have to incorporate the mask into your costume. You can't just walk in being really cool makeup, really cool costume, and put on a mask. You have to incorporate it in because, again, we're trying to keep the show alive, the illusion alive. So our crew is every single one of our crew members is in a mask, and then to enter the building, you have to be wearing a mask per the state mandate. And the set, I know that upsets some people, but that's how we can operate, guys. I mean, we missed last year, and it really shocked me. Nobody complained last night. Out of all the guests we had come through last night, they all got it. They understood it. If they weren't happy about it, they didn't voice it to us. We're just doing what we need to do to operate. And again, I want to keep I said earlier, safety is my utmost priority. I mean, we medal wand people before they enter our building. We have paid security. We've kicked people out for doing things they shouldn't be doing. So I want to keep my crew safe, and I do want to keep my guests safe as well. And right now, in order to operate, masks are the thing.
So that it just surprised me, even down like in Universal with all their, but they, when I'm looking at their monsters and stuff, they incorporate it really well.
Yep.
Because you can have some maniacal people wearing masks.
Yep. And obviously any medical character that it fits right in.
Yep.
But even when the mandate goes away, again, back to life choices, do whatever makes you comfortable and happy. And, if I have a crew member that says, Pete, I still would like to be in a mask, absolutely. Great. As long as it's incorporated in, whatever makes my crew comfortable, and then if a guest shows up in a mask, so be it. It's whatever your comfort level is.
Very cool. We do have a family friend that is one of your haunters. Her name's Stacy.
Okay.
She was telling me that because we like to, we're into ghost hunting and stuff like that. She was telling me that there are stories there, and she's witnessed that there's an actual haunting at your haunting.
Many crew members will tell you that is absolutely the case. I have been up there by myself, just to run in and pick something up or drop something off, and I hear things. And my crew swears that, all of a sudden, if I'm working in one area of the attraction and I've got a buddy of mine or a manager working another side of the attraction, this is off-season stuff. When we're building and tinkering, all of a sudden we'll hear something, and I'll be like, hey Dale, was that you? And, no, that wasn't me. And he'll be like, was that you? Like, no, that wasn't me. And the crew swears by it. And there's, I'm kind of room design and prop design, and I design everything, and I know where I put the props. And I've seen props moved, and that, usually it's like, well, did one of your crew members move the prop? It's like, no, I've seen props move before the crew even comes in.
Wow.
So just like all of a sudden something's in one spot, and then you go back, it's like, that wasn't there. So, if you believe in that sort of thing, and that sort of thing is up there, I am 100% happy that it's peaceful and nice.
Yeah. So just hearing you talk about, are you skeptic on ghosts?
I'm not skeptic. It's kind of my life. I'm always in the middle on things, whether it's politics or life or anything. I believe in something. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Newsroom Nessie.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to believe the stuff. She goes, but I want scientific proof of this and that. I'm like, well, with hunting ghosts, there is no really scientific proof, because you can't have something here and something here, as a control. And while ghosts are doing this, here's your control. It doesn't work like that.
I see, and I agree with that. I don't need to see the actual proof. I just don't know what it is. You experience something, and I'm a cancer survivor. I'm married. I have 2 wonderful kids. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot with my life. I've been very fortunate. I believe. I just don't know what. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, because Stacy was saying that she has seen like a little girl.
I've heard that.
Walking around, like they'll think that the place is empty, and all of a sudden they think that some little girl must have got separated from something.
I don't know the history of the shopping center or the land the shopping center is on, but to hear footsteps or to hear something that it's like, that's not normal. And we've spent a lot of time in that building over the last 9 years. We know what's normal sounds and what's not normal sounds.
Have you ever been approached by like a ghost hunting team that wants to come and
have not
investigate?
Nope. So that's something you're open to.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of weaseling my way in a little bit. Be like, hey, you know what? We got all this equipment. If we could run through there some night and take a look.
Always open to that stuff.
Oh, very cool.
That's fun for me, guys.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, you said going back, you said you are a huge horror movie fan.
Horror movie, movies in general.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously the horror genre is important to me.
So, what's your favorite, like, I don't know, in horror, like, what is your favorite, is it slasher films? Is it like the gore film?
A little bit of everything, but I grew up slasher. And it's funny, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. For the slasher fans out there, I grew up a big Halloween Michael Myers fan. As a kid, as a teenager, all about Michael. And then probably number 2 came Freddy. I was a big Nightmare fan. Yep. And 3 was Jason, and Leatherface, and, the new ones with Victor Crowley, and, when you get into that series. But, Leatherface, Victor Crowley, kind of towards the end. I was always big Michael. But after, again, my oldest daughter's coming of age where she watches that stuff, after experiencing that again with my daughter, I'm a big Jason fan, guys. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm big. I think it's the setting. It's the woods. It's the ambiance. That kind of thing. So I went from Michael and Freddy, and Jason has surpassed that. I guess as I get older, you just appreciate different things.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I was, I grew up in the '80s, so I was a big slasher fan myself. With the Freddy was my number one guy, and then Jason, Michael Myers. But like the newer like kind of horror that's out there now is like the suspense horror. That gets you with the jump scares more than anything. Kind of like the Conjuring movies and stuff like that. So I didn't know what your take is on.
Enjoyable. I don't turn my nose up at that stuff. But I'm, again, with Twisted Crypt, I'm character driven. I need the characters. And when you have the personality of Krueger or the mystery that is Michael or even Jason, the slashers are fun. Obviously, they're fun being a teenager and watching those movies. But the character added so much. And it seems like some of those movies these days, the character gets muddled. And it's just kind of just there. Yeah. And I want the character and I want the personality. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with a suspense movie like, Conjuring or any of that stuff. But it's just missing something to me.
Very cool. So like in your haunt, do you incorporate any of these like classic characters, or is it all like very much like new characters that you come up with?
We try to be unique. Obviously, there's laws out there. I'm not going to blow smoke. I mean, there's a lot of haunts out there that have Freddy Krueger and Jason walking around or Michael walking around. I don't want to get sued. The studios, certain studios are out there making sure you can't do that because those rights belong to certain people and certain people want to make money on those characters. I tell my crew, I've had people come up and I've lost a crew member. Really cool Michael Myers costume. I'm Michael Myers. I'm like, well, you can't be Michael Myers here. It's just not allowed.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, see you later. Okay, he went somewhere else. I tell my crew, take inspiration from them all. You don't have to be Freddy. You don't have to be Michael. You don't have to be Jason. But take bits and pieces from each and create your own character. We'll help you develop your own character and have a dedicated costume, have a dedicated name, have a backstory. Again, create that character and live that character.
So you're open to having your haunter. What is it? Are they called haunters?
Haunters. Haunters. I guess that's the technical term. Yeah, that's
all right. So you let your haunters like develop their own characters, and then, or do you give them kind of like, all right, this is your setting, and now come up with something?
Yep, a little bit of everything. Depends on the haunter. I've got some crew members that don't need much assistance. And they're like, Pete, where do you want me this year? I'm like, man, I really see you in this room. And if we're on the same page and agree, then I'm like, all right, this is fits for you. Be in this room. Now, bring me a character. And they'll start designing and scheming and things. And I don't want to put my crew in a position to fail. And I don't want a crew member unhappy. Just because I think a crew member would be perfect in this room, if they don't buy into the room, it's not going to be a good room. It's got to be a 100% team effort where I go, hey, do you want to be in here? Yes, I want to be in here. Are you comfortable being in here? Can you develop that character to be in here? Yes. Then we're flying. If they balk at it in any way, shape, or form, it's like, all right, let's find something else for you. What are you thinking? I mean, you have to have those conversations and that kind of communication with the crew to make it work. I made those mistakes early on where it's like, hey, you are perfect for this room. You're in this room. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to fight with me on it. They're like, okay. And it was a horrible room. Wow. And I tell the crew, we can build it, we can prop it, and we can give them our pointers, but they bring the attraction to life. I always say on opening night, the attraction is now yours. We've taken it as far as we can go. We build it, you give it its heart and soul.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, because I do the whole acting thing at school, right? I'm in the theater and stuff like that, and a lot of people just kind of roll with the roles that they have. And yes, we're going to put everything into this. We're going to give, like, image-wise, right? But they just don't want to be that character. Or, like, they don't know how to be that character. Instead of, like, saying something about it, they just kind of just roll with it. And it just kind of goes, So I'm like, these other people could have been, like, if they want that, right? But,
Yeah, I 100% agree. And it's like the mama character. I don't want to typecast anybody, but she's that good.
Yeah, so she's got it down.
So every year I'm like, do you want to try something different? And she goes, oh, if you want me to. And I'm like, probably not the best decision, right? She's like, no, I'm mama. I'm like, yeah, you're mama. Let's go. And there's others that, they want to change their character every year. And they want to be, the first few years, we were very American Horror Story. Same cast, different story, different characters. And of course, people get typecasted or people want to change it up. We like I said, there's always that one room we take a stretch on. This year so far, it's the fishing room. If that crashes and burns, we adjust next year. I can admit mistakes and admit faults, and you learn from it, and you hopefully do better next time.
So what's like the turnover rate for your haunters?
This I'm proud of. I get some of my competitors call me every single year and say, Pete, how do you hold on to your crew? We're pushing 40 crew members this year, and that's after taking a year off. And I heard stories last year where some of the other haunts were like, hey, Twisted Crypt isn't open. Why don't you come work for us this year? And my crew members, I'm proud of this. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm going to enjoy the fall.
Oh, wow.
I'm going back to Twisted Crypt next year. And, I think it's because we treat them like humans. And that's not a knock on anybody else. But, we feed them before every single show. We put a huge spread of food for these guys. The show starts at 7. Usually our doors open around 3:30 or 4. They can come in. They get food. We have Nintendos and video games in the back. We have DVD and Blu-ray players in the back, music, couches. It's their clubhouse. So they come backstage, they get food, they get entertainment. They have makeup counters with airbrushes and a costume area, a mask area if they don't want to do makeup and do a mask instead. And we communicate with them. Hey guys, are you comfortable here? Where do you want to be in the attraction? Where don't you want to be? Hey, and sometimes I'm like, hey, I really need you here tonight. And they'll be like, yeah, I'll do that for you, Pete. And as long as I'm not there tomorrow or the next day. And it's like, yep, you communicate with the crew. Treat them right. Give them the benefits of being there, and communicate with them.
Yeah, and I'll share I think the video might still be out there, and I'll share it on our Facebook page. But a couple of years ago, our friends at Rockford Scanner. What was it? Rockford Buzz.
Yep.
Did a walkthrough of your guys' place, and
they've been really, really good to us throughout the years.
And so that's a very fun video. I'll share that. Do you guys like when people, because they did a lot of filming through?
They did. Jake and I would have conversations on that because he obviously wants to show as much as possible, and I'm there like, oh, don't show that.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin it for somebody.
Again, it's that, hey, help us out, we'll help you out. We got to communicate and find common ground. And they've been really, really good to us. I think they're the only ones besides the Ice Hogs. We had some Ice Hog players through a few years ago, and they filmed the Ice Hog players going through, and that video's out there if you want to hunt for it. I think those are the only two that I've allowed to film inside the attraction.
All right.
13 News was out last night. They're like, so can we go inside the attraction? I'm like, absolutely not. Because again, it's part of that mystery. It's the same way. I've got friends and family and friends of friends and crew member friends that are like, can we see this place with the lights on? Have you been through with the lights off? And the answer better be, yeah, I've been through with the lights off, because I will not turn on the lights for anybody that hasn't actually been through as a guest. Because you have to, once the lights go on and you see everything, it's not the same.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
The illusion has been lost.
Absolutely. So go through with the lights off at least once, see it, and then we'll, if you want that private tour, see what we're up to. And, my partners and I, there's some things in that attraction. We put the crew in a gag order. And some people are like, really? And it's like they're not allowed to post pictures or, allow them to take the selfies of the makeup they do, and they're proud of the costumes and makeup they do. We say, you can post all that at the end of the year. We don't want it out during the season. We don't want people seeing what we're up to, because we want them to have that experience. And that's definitely key to us. After the season's over, have at it.
Yeah. So it's strictly no cameras, no anything when people walk through.
Yeah.
Have you guys busted people for?
Oh yeah. I mean,
trying to film TikToks and everything in your.
We haven't gotten to the TikTok yet. I think there's a YouTube video out there of a guy having his phone in his pocket, and it's all muffled, trying to record the show. Didn't catch him because he had his phone in his pocket, so he technically wasn't breaking any of our rules. But yeah, phones, you can bring a phone into the lobby and take pictures with characters or take pictures of the front of the house and all that. But once you go in, once you see our gatekeeper and she puts you in the attraction, phone's away. No. And if we catch a phone out, obviously it's a warning. If you catch phone out again, you're ejected without refund.
So do you guys keep constant visual on people when they walk through, like a security?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, kind of tell people where we're at and when we're at. But like I said, I have paid security out front, metal wanding people. I have security throughout the attraction.
Very cool.
And all of my room actors have a dedicated walkie-talkie to communicate with security.
Very cool.
We've done medical drills. We've done fire drills. We've done what we call a code yellow, which is an asshole drill where we have to eject somebody out of the attraction.
Awesome.
We've had code browns. Code brown is cleanup. We had somebody puke a couple years ago. We've had, to my knowledge, the crew will say I'm wrong on this. I know at least one person that did shit their pants.
I was just gonna say code brown sounds like that should be somebody singing the
we had a couple pissers last night, and they come out, and the girl came out. She's like, I can't believe I peed. I honestly peed in there. We're like, are you serious? You actually did that? It's like, yeah. It's like they're few and far between, but everybody's different, and so we have that code to clean up, and knock on wood, the one code I never hope we have to use, but again, it's how we consider safety such a priority. We have what's called a code black, which would be like an active shooter.
But you gotta
never want
you have to cover all those bases.
Yeah, but I stressed it. That's how serious we take security. I mean, it's no laughing matter on that stuff, and hopefully that code never has to be used. And but you never know with people. So again, safety is a priority.
Yeah. So you should when you guys are promoting Twisted Crypt, we'll scare the piss out of you.
and the crew takes pride in that. They already have their tallies going.
Oh, the tallies. I got 2 pissers today.
Yeah, it's like, I got her. No, I got her. It's like, all right, you both got her. Good job.
Awesome. So you said you've been running this for about 9 years?
9 years.
Minus the one COVID.
Yep.
Had it always been in this space, or?
Yep. Every year. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
Every year, same location. Like I said, we're very fortunate in that way. We've got a good landlord. He understands what we do and what kind of business we run, and that we're not going to be there forever. And hopefully the next step is something bigger and better. But you never know what the world's going to throw at you. So I always tell my guests and I tell the crew, don't take this place for granted. Check it out. Have fun. You never know what's going to happen next.
Very cool.
But our goal is to be around for years to come.
Yeah, I've always heard good things about it, and like I said, I'm a scaredy cat. So whether if I go through it or not, it'd be like, without giving it away, because one of the things that I'm like claustrophobia gets me, and at the last one where I went to, they made you like get down and crawl through like these little tunnels. And I about lost my shit. Is this something that you guys?
So we have a claustrophobic area. So we do have one of those. But this was way back in 2013. It was February of 2013. Like my buddies and I were like, we're going to do this. Let's do this. And I'm like, well, the first step is let's go meet with the city of Rockford. Because Rockford at the time had a very nasty stigma. Don't like haunted houses. Want nothing to do with them. I mean, when I was growing up and a kid, what caught the bug was my dad would take us to haunted houses. It was JC's or Phantom Regiment or the fire station or Harlem. All of those. It was fun. And then they slowly died off. They just disappeared. And there were a couple here and there. So I'm like, well, let's go talk to Rockford. And we sat in that meeting and we're like, all right, this is what we're planning. This is what we're planning. And they said yes to certain things and they said no to other things. And they said no uneven floors. You have to have 4-foot wide hallways, so no narrow hallways. They had some regs, and the beauty of it is we were upset at first. We're like, you know what? In order to do this is what we're going to do. We're going to play ball with Rockford because we want to do it. It made us handicap accessible, and 4-foot wide hallways, no uneven floors. We've had wheelchairs come through, and it was kind of that happy accident. And we're one of the few haunted attractions where if you're in a wheelchair, you can get through Twisted Crypt. There are two spots that probably won't work for a wheelchair, but we have emergency exits on each end. We'll have a manager meet you and guide you around that area, but you get all the other bits of the show.
Very cool. Like Liz here.
Liz was there last night and she went through. So
very cool.
It was kind of a happy mistake, but Rockford still has regulations. But I will tell you, anybody that dirtbags Rockford, the city of Rockford and Rockford Fire Department have been outstanding to work with. And they have our backs and we have their backs. So
cool.
It's a very, very good relationship.
Nice. So they have to come through, walk through, make sure you guys are up to code on everything.
Every year we get inspected prior to opening. We get inspected by City of Rockford, Rockford Fire Department, and the state of Illinois. So we go through three 3 different inspections just to make sure that everything is on the up and up. And never have had a problem with them yet.
Very cool.
Kevin said, "Did the ghost cut the feed?" Nah. Sadly, no.
No, this was technical error, Kevin. This is my error for not checking the right internet connection.
Yeah, Dad sucks with technology.
Yeah. So, I know I asked you here for another hour. I don't know if there's anything else you'd want to.
Your call, guys. If you have anything for me, cool. If not, I really appreciate you guys inviting me.
I really know that you're busy with everything, and I really appreciate it because I was talking to you a couple weeks ago here at Wolf Hollow. I was like, "Do you mind coming in and doing an interview with us?" You were like, "Well, it is. We are kind of opening up that day." And I'm like, "Well, it's during the day, so maybe we can get you before."
No pun intended. I do feel like a zombie right now because I was, by the time I got home last night in bed, unwind after what we experienced last night, it was probably 2:30 in the morning, and then I'm up at 6 or 7 every day. So, and then back at it again tonight.
Wow.
So it's. But like I said, this is a labor of love, and we try to take care of the crew, and any money we make, goes right back into the attraction. So that's how we've been able to. That's how we survived not opening last year. In all honesty, like I said, we all have our own main jobs, own income, how we support our families and pay our bills. The way we operate Twisted Crypt is we try to enhance it, make it better every year. And the only reason why we survived last year is because we didn't, we don't raid the coffers at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, and just try to take care of everybody and most importantly, have fun. That's the big thing.
And it does sound like a pretty good time.
Kevin does have a question. Have they ever had any celebs go through the house?
I would say not that I'm aware of, other than we did have 2 guys that came through for the Ice Hogs. One, Matthew Highmore, ended up playing for the Chicago Blackhawks for a period of time, and Darren Radish also came through. He got traded after he came through. Hopefully that wasn't us. He got traded after he came through, and he ended up being a New York Ranger.
Oh,
so
cool.
So we've had 2 NHL players come through.
Well,
so that's, I guess, celebrity, but not any, like, if you're looking for movies or anything, not that I'm aware of, but you never know who comes through and is incognito.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie? The house is October built? Or?
Yep. And actually, I saw the movie. That the writer, I believe it's the writer of the movie, follows us on Instagram. And I was
Really?
like, when I saw that notification, I'm like, what? This is cool.
Right.
So, man, I don't know what he's up to, but he hasn't reached out to us, but he just follows us on Instagram. So
I didn't know if more people because that movie actually blew up for a little while.
Yep.
And I didn't know if it increased, like more people got interested into going into haunted houses more.
I'm sure. I mean, our demographic. I mean, our numbers show. Obviously, we are. Our highest demographic is teenagers.
Yeah.
High school kids, college kids, looking for a date night, looking for something to do. And, a lot of them come out in packs. We get busy after Friday Night Football ends. All of a sudden, here comes people.
Yeah.
We've had people come down in their homecoming clothes,
Right.
before, after the dance. Our demographic is very teenager, but we get people from all different walks of life. You never know who's going to show up and how they're going to act.
Yeah. So coming down in like dress clothes and stuff like that for homecoming. Do you get people that like dress up in like cosplay to come and walk through?
Yeah, we've had cosplay, especially on Halloween. We're always open on Halloween. We don't allow, you have to have a face mask, obviously, like a mouth covering. We don't allow anybody to come in full blown, like we can't see your face, like a full blown mask. Like if someone's wearing again, we talked about Michael earlier. If someone's wearing a Halloween mask, like Michael Myers mask, it's like, yeah, you got to take that off, because we don't want you impersonating a scare actor or anything like that. But we've had people come in full-blown costume, cosplay costume, makeup. Absolutely.
Oh,
Have
wow.
fun.
What about like those big inflatable dinosaurs?
I've seen them and I love them, but I have not had. That's kind of there's a video right there, a bunch of inflatable. It's got like 4-year-old stuff.
Right.
It was so big 4 years ago, it seems like, but inflatable dinosaurs walking through.
Yeah, I a couple of years ago on our other our Lego YouTube channel, because we kind of do like where we go and film different things in Rockford and that kind of vlogging type thing. Well, my younger son dressed in one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes, and I took him through Target, and he's like kind of knocking shit off shelves, and so it's funny. So I'm just sitting here picturing him, trying to walk through a haunted house.
Yeah, I haven't had the inflatable. That'd be a conversation. That's like a group huddle. All right, we got a little. If it's an adult in the dinosaur costume, be like, dude, you can't wear this in here. Come on.
No.
It's a little kid. It's like you with your dad or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But my fear would be popping the thing. I mean, not that anybody's gonna get hurt, but accidents happen. I don't know how you pop it because we're so safe. But, you don't want to ruin the costume. And that's what we've had people show up, and they're wearing like $300 designer jeans, high heels. The ladies show up and they've got. It's like, listen, you're not gonna get blood on you or anything in there. But you're going into a haunted house and you're dressed really nice, especially wearing high heels. It's like, are you sure you know what you're doing? But life choice, right? We talked about that 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And just a note for everyone, because I know, like, when I was in high school going through haunted houses, and I have a girlfriend. That's the best date that you guys can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you got your girl in front of you, you got to hold on to her and everything. Yep. And then if something comes out and scares you, you can just toss her in front of her.
Absolutely. Yes. And you know what? I mean, it's funny too, because if you show up wearing a Guilford hoodie, actors, that's fodder for the actors, man. That's just like, all right, Guilford, let's roll. And especially if one of my actors went to Guilford or Boylan or Hononegah, or I had one person come up, and I went to Boylan, and somebody came up wearing something from Boylan, and I'm like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And they're like, how do you know that? And per the conversation I had with them, by the time the conversation ended, I ended up finding out I knew her father.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, oh, your dad, he does this and this. She's like, who are you? I mean, you could tell with me. It's like, who are you and how do you know my dad? And that's gold. Again, it's that uncomfortable. It's like, who are it just one, if we can make the guest feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, we win. And so, we tell the actors, if you're in a moment that feels very awkward to you, the actor, just imagine how awkward it feels to the guest.
Right.
Win.
Yeah. So they have like free roam to just kind of, just pick on people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now you cannot personally insult, and some of my crew, if they're listening to this, will laugh. You cannot personally insult anyone. You can't take that shot. But you get to know them, see what you can find out. I mean, obviously, for anybody listening, don't give your name at a haunted house, because that's crew gold. If they find out your name, and if you really want to make your friends mad, sell out your friends and give your friend's name to whoever you're interacting with. But yeah, I mean, sometimes they need material. And on slower nights, in all honesty, I mean, like I said, the first half of the season's slower nights. So if you're not looking to wait in line and you're probably looking for the best show possible, come early in the season, because they'll spend more time with you.
I was just going to say, is there like a certain amount of time that they can spend in these rooms?
We say, 45 to 60 seconds a room, they interact. And for those of you thinking that 45 or 60 seconds isn't a lot of time, try filling 45 or 60 seconds.
Right.
It's a lot of time. And that's why, we tell them, read the group. See who, like I said earlier, who's scared, who's not scared, who's playing tough guy, who's playing chicken shit, what are they wearing? You have a Cubs fan, you have a Sox fan, a Bears fan. Use anything that you can first just read the group by, and then use how they're communicating with you. But no personal attacks. We try now. If someone is being a real asshole to one of the actors, the asshole will, or the actor will be an asshole back. I mean, absolutely. If you start that game, they'll finish that game.
So do you get a lot of tough guys coming through thinking, and then they're like, well, I'm too tough, and fuck you, and this and that.
Yeah, and we try to de-escalate situations rather than escalate situations. So they're told and taught, go to a certain level, but as soon as that level starts getting crazy, back away. It's not worth it. And again, if they're a big enough problem, we will eject them without refund from the attraction. Some guys are just looking for it. It's usually the drunks late at night. If you're drinking, the drunk muscles come out. I always laugh. My crew laughs. We love the stoners. The stoners show up. They giggle. They're polite. They're nice. They just want to go in and look at the pretty lights and have fun. Right. It's more, the stoners are fine. They're actually quite entertaining for us. It's the drunks, the late night drunks, the guys that have to prove something. It's like, come on, man.
Have you ever? I don't know if you can disclose it or not. Have you ever had an incident where somebody came in and tried to get physical with any of your actors?
Yeah, we call that code yellow. Security comes in. escorts them out. We don't put hands on anybody unless they force us to put hands on them, security that is. But if they force us to do something, we will act, and then they come out front. Not only if it's bad enough, we will call the police and we will press charges. Again, it's safety, and we have kicked people out for doing stupid things, and nothing. The lobby actors will feed off that. Because if I have a full lobby of people, and again, have fun. Come out and have fun, guys. We're not like watching you saying, you can't have fun, we'll kick you out. No, come out and have fun.
Yeah.
But if somebody does something stupid, and we kick out maybe 3 to 4 people a year. It's not like anything crazy.
Yeah.
But I love when security's escorting somebody out through the lobby, and the actors in the lobby were like, oh, look at that, someone's being kicked out. And like everybody in line will turn attention and be like, wow, these guys aren't messing around. It's like, yeah, you may be able to get away with something at somewhere else. You don't ruin the show for us, and don't ruin the show for other people in line with you.
We do have a question. Well, first of all, he said #drunk muscles.
Yes, 100%.
But he also does have a question. Kevin goes, okay, what's this guy's favorite scary movie?
Favorite all-time favorite
yep.
scary movie? Wow, that's hard. And if my wife or daughter was here, they'd be in my ear. Gosh, that's a hard question. All-time favorite. Now, I'm going off probably nostalgia, because nostalgia is one of the most powerful things in our world. And I'm probably going to get mocked for this, but it's because of the age I was and because the marketing behind it. Probably the most influential was Blair Witch Project. I was right around 8th grade when that came out. Being that age, the media hype of everything, being, it's real. And this was before found footage movies became a thing.
Yeah, that was the very launch
Sitting
of
in there and watching this. I mean, coming from watching all these slasher movies with the TNA and all those guys.
Yeah, the campiness to it.
Yeah,
and this was just like
this
straight
was like,
real.
what is this?
Right.
And that had a big effect on me. And so did Wes Craven's Scream, the first Scream. Again, I was right around that same age. But to pinpoint a favorite, my favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. Again, nostalgia. I'm a big Spielberg guy, and probably my number 2 is Jaws.
Very cool. Yeah, that's in my top 10 is Jaws.
Yeah, Jurassic Park and Jaws are probably right there, my top movies of all time. Again, it's nostalgia and being that age and experiencing something for the first time.
Yeah, because I still, if I watch Blair Witch Project, I will turn on all the lights in the house after I'm done watching it.
I have to watch a non-scary movie afterwards, man. It's terrible.
And if you really look into that movie, it was so low budget. They made it next to nothing. They were film students just out of film school. And those 3 they were true actors, and nobody knew about them and how they filmed it and what they had to go through to film that movie. If you really dig deep, it's an amazing story, what they did just to accomplish that. And, again, that's out there and will never be duplicated.
And I liked how the actors had to not do anything for a while to totally sell the effect that, this was a real thing and these people can't be found.
Yeah, and I believe at one point in time, I watched a video saying they actually kind of almost went crazy, because of the method, not method acting, but legit, that's how they had to film the movie, out in the woods by themselves practically.
Yeah, and I get a lot of people who are like, oh, Blair Witch, blah blah blah. I'm like that movie it set a tone. We would not have paranormal activity movies if Blair Witch hadn't happened.
And I didn't like the sequel, and I didn't like the newest Blair Witch movie, but that original, I don't know, that one really stuck with me. And that one you watch it and you're like, oh, I would just do this. And more times than not, that's what the actors did. And you're like, okay. And it's like the movie Frozen, not the Disney movie Frozen, but the horror movie Frozen. I can't remember the writer-director's name. He's very good at what he does. Where they get stuck on the ski lift. And they get stuck up on the ski lift. And if you haven't seen the movie Frozen, not the Disney version, the horror movie, it's a phenomenal movie. They're stuck on the ski lift. And when you can get the audience saying, well, why don't they just do that? And then 10 minutes later they do that, and you see why they shouldn't have done that.
Right.
That's awesome to me. And Blair Witch kind of has that same feel to it. It's like, oh, if I was in their position, I'd do this. It's like, well, good luck to you.
Right.
Alright guys, so if you want some ghost freaking talking gear, make sure to go to gftpodcast.myspreadshop.com and make sure to order some ghost freaking talking merch. We even have dog bandanas and coffee cups.
Alright, so
I think I fixed it.
Yeah, we're back on it.
Okay,
it's weird how we, and I want to blame it's this mirror over here. Just because we had Liz took me in the back room here, and she was showing me because she was having some kind of activity in the back hallway, and she had this whole stack of mirrors, and I'm like, I got such a bad feeling from this mirror.
So she moved it in here for you?
So she moved it in here.
Nice.
So I went home that night, and I had a nightmare about this mirror, like such a vivid nightmare. And then a couple weeks later, I come in here, and she's got this whole room set up, and I was here with my mom doing a reading, and I just got this feeling like something was watching me from behind, and I kind of looked over, and there's this thing with the thing draped over it. I'm like, is that fucking mirror? so I went over there, and I like looked at the mirror, and I'm like, oh my god, it's this mirror. That night, I went home and had the same exact nightmare.
That's creepy.
So we're going to be doing something else here tonight, where we're going to be doing where we're going to show our equipment, hunting equipment, stuff like that. So I'm going to try something with this mirror tonight.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So what are you doing over there?
I'm texting.
Oh, okay. Is he like, you drop off again?
Yeah.
What was his comment though?
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna read it, but you guys were talking. It literally took me years to get that Blair Witch wasn't real, which I've always thought Blair Witch was real. By the way, I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. That cheap website sold it for me too.
And I made the mistake of, I guess they tried to do another Blair Witch a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did a direct sequel, which was more of a movie.
Yeah.
That's a messed up movie. And
Yeah.
it didn't have that charm and magic of the first one. And then the remake, I've seen it. And again, it was like, okay, it's typical Hollywood these days.
Yeah.
To me, again,
Yeah.
not a hater,
Yeah.
but it's like, okay, there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is totally not even close to that feel that you got with that original one.
Yep.
Because it was just so grainy, and this new one, they're like, oh, we got drones and stuff with cameras and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, well, that just takes that whole aspect of it.
That in Blair Witch, the one scene that it still gives me the chills to this day, and I know how they did it. I've watched documentaries and all that stuff. Is when they're in the tent and they wake up and they hear the kids playing.
Yeah.
And you hear the kids giggling, and I've got kids. You hear those kids giggling and they freak out, and then the tent starts shaking. That's still, it's like, yeah, that's just, and it's like Hitchcock. Hitchcock's one of my favorite as well. Simplicity sometimes is the best route.
Yes.
And that's when you get the audience or the guest, and we try to do it as well. When you get them to use their imagination just a little bit, extremely effective.
Well, I remember going fishing all the time and going through all like the forest and stuff like that. You always would like say, "Oh, is that the Blair Witch?" or stuff like that, and I would freak out.
Because as a parent, you try to freak out your kids as much as possible, unless it's just me. But every time you hear something like some crack in the woods, it's like, "Oh, is that the witch?"
Well, I still do it, and I'm in real estate, and anytime I go into an older home and you look down the basement stairs and it's got that like old limestone basement, I'm like, that's a Blair Witch basement. It's like somebody's gonna be standing in the corner down there. Somebody go first.
Kevin goes to teeth when they find
Josh's teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrapped up in his like shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty creepy there. So I'm gonna play off of you're in real estate.
Yep.
Have you ever been into like a house that
we've had clients
said it was haunted?
Yeah, we've had clients say, just so you know, my house is haunted. I'm like, okay. There's certain things we have to disclose. There's other things we don't have to disclose as realtors, and when we're trying to sell a property. I have never experienced anything in a house that I listed and sold, but I've had sellers swear to me that their house is haunted.
Yeah, because we just did an episode a few episodes ago. We were talking about because there was a sign that was put on a house for sale in Connecticut or something like that, and it said "house not haunted."
Not haunted.
I'm like, do we have to disclose if the house is haunted? Because we live in a haunted house.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I were to go and sell my house in Illinois, do I have to disclose? No.
Nope, don't have to disclose that the house is haunted.
There we
That's
go.
other, like the great picture where it says quiet neighbors. And of course, the house is like right next to a graveyard. Very quiet neighborhood.
Very cool.
But I do also so if someone goes, "Is this house haunted?" or "Do you know anything about it?" Do you ever just like go, "No, I don't. like no, or like,
I mean, the way I conduct it, if I'm aware of something, I disclose it. So if a seller says, "I swear, Pete, I have a ghost in this house," and somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey," and I don't know if I've ever been asked.
I was just going to say, how often does that come up?
No, I don't think I've ever been asked that. I've been doing this since 2004. I don't believe I've ever been asked that question, but I would probably say if the seller told me, yeah, I would say the seller believes the house is haunted.
So like the Conjuring house, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got picked up and abused by this demon, right?
Allegedly,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But if it's that bad, would you say something about that, or like
If I experienced something like that or saw something, I'd probably peace out. Like, I am not the guy for you. Best of luck. Good luck with your life and have fun. But I mean, the stigma of if somebody if the seller is aware somebody committed suicide or died in the house, then we get into different stories or different sets of rules and what you have to disclose. I mean, I was always taught disclose because you don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
So and I live my life trying to be as upfront, as honest as possible. So, but yeah, sometimes you run into a situation. I've had plenty of people tell me their house is haunted, but I've never had a consumer or a buyer ask me, and at least ask me where I had to say yes because I knew about it. If someone says is this house haunted and the seller's never told me, I'd be like, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, because this is for the listeners out there. If you want to know if somebody has died in your house, there's an actual website called diedinhouse.com.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
So if you want to find out if somebody has died in your house, if you're interested, you'll say you got bumps or creaks in the night, and you're like, oh, is my house haunted? Just because somebody died in your house doesn't mean that your house is haunted.
Yes.
But it is a good first step to going into finding out what is going on in your house. So go to diedinhouse.com and you can do a search up on that.
That's cool to know.
I think there's like a $20 fee or something to do a search, but they'll let you know if there's somebody been passed away in your house.
Yeah.
So in the state of Illinois, you do not have to disclose that.
That what?
That somebody died in the house.
In the state of Illinois, you do not have to disclose if someone's died in the house that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Unless they've changed that law since 2004.
Oh, very cool.
But I mean, more times than the consumers that come out, it's estates. It's usually estates, right? If they had an estate sale, it's an older couple. You get somebody. Did they die here? Did they die at the hospital? Did they die in a home? Obviously, if I'm aware of it, I disclose it. If I'm not aware of it, I just say I don't know.
Very cool. Yeah, because I think when we were doing our segment on the whether you had to disclose it or not, there's something called a stigma. If your house has a stigma to it, you have to disclose it.
Yeah, I mean, like if there was a real nasty like murder, yes, you have to disclose that. But if your grandma and grandpa passed, or if your grandma passed away in her sleep, you don't have to disclose that.
Oh, very cool.
It's again, you start getting into gray area, guys. I mean, that's why it's like, get an attorney involved, and because I'm not an attorney, I'm just a realtor. So, yeah, I mean that stuff. I knock on wood, I've never come across it, but yeah, if someone passed away in their sleep, I've been told and taught, no, you don't have to disclose that. But if there's something brutal, that stigma, that has to be disclosed.
Sorry on this show we like to just veer off.
Yeah, it's
on
okay.
different things.
It's okay. I'm having fun.
You're here to talk about your haunted house, and we're like, oh, so you're a realtor? Okay, so we wanted these questions weeks ago.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
So going back to your haunted house, how soon? Like, do you guys start preparing in the summer? Is this like an all year thing, or do you start preparing at a certain time?
Yeah, it can be all year. I mean, when we close up shop on the 31st, we do, we give a couple weeks to let the crew decompress a little bit, and then we'll do like a wrap party, hand out awards and thank the crew, and we pay for them to eat and drink and have fun somewhere, and kind of tell war stories of the season and stuff like that. And then obviously Thanksgiving, Christmas, nothing. I mean, go spend time with your family, your friends, whatever. After the first of the year, start getting that itch again. Like, maybe we should start talking story and characters and start planning. The first step is, okay, what rooms worked, what rooms didn't work. The rooms that worked, stay. Rooms that didn't work, empty them out. And then, okay, this is what we have emptied out. This is what we need to, okay, we have this room to fill, this room to fill. Let's think of some new concepts. What's our story umbrella? I mean, it kind of is year round, but with little pockets of downtime. But I mean, we're up there. We're definitely up there in April and May figuring it out. I mean, we're at the location weekends in April and May.
Oh, wow.
Kevin says, I come here for the GFT veering, of course, treatment. But he also says, let's talk about giraffes.
Let's talk about giraffes. All right. All right. So, our fans out here are making comments about
previous shows.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. Because this
I don't
guy,
get that stuff, but you guys do.
Because I'm a big... I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't...
Hold on. You don't believe in Bigfoot?
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's weird.
Really?
I believe in Mothman. Mothman's my guy, but I don't believe in Bigfoot. And in one of our episodes, he goes, well, if we have giraffes, who's to say that we don't have
But think
Bigfoot?
about it.
I'm like, what does giraffes have anything to do with Bigfoot?
Giraffes are the weirdest animal. They have long necks, and they're big and leggy.
I truly didn't believe I'd hear this debate walking in the doors today. That's very interesting.
But it's a good debate.
So our fans like to throw the giraffe because it was just so random.
Well, like I said, I'm a big movie buff. Do you have a favorite Bigfoot movie?
Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, okay, all right, cool. All right. There we go. Okay, good stuff. That's a classic.
What was that? The one that with the robot guy is riffed on. That was pretty. The Call of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Mystery Science Theater did a riff on one of the Bigfoot movies?
Yep.
And I like that just because they riffed on it pretty good. But yeah, I don't believe in Bigfoot. I think if Bigfoot was out there, we would have had something on him yet.
Okay.
Because you go back to the Patterson-Gimlin films, it's come out throughout the years. Oh yeah, we faked it. One guy is coming out saying, "I was in the costume. You could see the pockets and stuff like that." And so, and we have not seen anything else besides, was it feet impressions or something like that somebody could have put there. But since woodland areas are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, you would think by now, if there's a Bigfoot out there, that we would have found them. Or if Bigfoot dies, why do we not have a carcass?
Sure.
Or do they bury their own like humans do or whatever? But no one's had a body.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But then again, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, Mothman.
I was
Mothman's real.
gonna say Loch Ness. What about Loch Ness?
Yeah.
Loch Ness?
Well,
I believe in the Loch Ness.
Loch Ness. Whether there is a Loch Ness monster, there's just so many things in the ocean and deep lakes and that no one's found yet. That possibility that this thing came out and breached one day and then went back to the depths and we haven't seen it.
Like I said, I'm a believer. Until I know for sure it doesn't exist, I'm a believer. But again, it goes back to I don't need scientific proof, but okay, Bigfoot. Could it exist? Yes. Does it exist? Don't know.
No. So every year they're finding new species and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So but I'm thinking Bigfoot. We have satellites. Bigfoot is
now you get into government stuff like aliens and stuff. Where they're covering it up, maybe.
Well, here there are people that think Bigfoot's an alien. That's why he disappears, because he's got a portal gun or something like that. I've heard all the stories where he's got like a portal gun because he's an alien, and that's why people see him 1 second and he's gone another.
See, to me, that's fun, guys. It's fun. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to debate.
Oh, definitely.
That's the good stuff. You got to enjoy the good stuff in life.
Oh, definitely. So if you guys want some more good stuff, if you guys are in the Rockford area, do you guys get people that drive from different states to come to your?
Oh yeah. Since we've won the awards, we've been doing this since 2013. 2013 was our first season. HauntedIllinois.com. They cover multiple events throughout the state, mostly haunted attractions, but you'll find pumpkin patch and home haunts and different things on HauntedIllinois.com. We, by their fans, and they have a ton of social media influence in the state, we've been voted a top 10 attraction every year of existence but one on that website. And the 1 year we weren't voted in by the fans, Haunted Illinois critics awarded us a top 10 attraction. So they've given us an award every single year. So that's one of those things where we take pride in it, and we've had people from Iowa come out, we've had people from Indiana, Wisconsin, people drive down because we're right in the state line. I've yet to meet anybody from like Montana or New Mexico or Maine. but I don't get to talk to everybody. But because of the beauty of the internet is we get that kind of exposure. It's 2 years ago, we had foreign exchange students in.
Oh wow!
That just had never experienced a haunted house before, and they're like, let's do this, and they were fun because of the language and the communication with them. But like I said, we get people from all different walks of life, from different areas, and that's what actually makes it a lot of fun, because you get to talk to some of these people outside the attraction. Where you're from, how'd you find us? What do you think? And then you have, like in any kind of hobby or anything, you have the hardcore fans that have been to Universal Halloween Horror Nights, have been to Knott's Scary Farm, and out in California, or Busch Gardens does events now. It's like all the major theme parks now do Halloween events.
Yeah.
And to my opinion, nothing beats Universal Halloween Horror Nights. So
yeah, I got into a TikTok tunnel the other night just watching all their stuff. I'm like, man, this is they got a House of 1,000 Corpses house.
Yep.
I'm like, shut up.
I mean, they do Ghostbusters. They do a little bit of everything. And we've had people say, this good stuff, guys. I mean, the best compliment I had was I had a reviewer from a smaller website come out a couple years ago and says, this blows anything Six Flags does out of the water. Like,
oh, well.
Cool. Thank you. I mean, I've got my Haunted Mansion shirt on. I'm a huge Disney nerd and love Universal, and theme parks are a huge influence on what we do. And to be even mentioned with some of the, I'm not Disney quality or Universal quality, not even close, but to be like, hey, you kind of kicked Six Flags ass this year.
Right.
Thank you. That's
cool.
it feels good. I'm not looking for awards. I'm not looking for compliments, but come on, guys, it feels good. It really does feel good to hear.
Now, how strong? How many? Is there like a ton of haunted houses within the Illinois area?
You'd be surprised. The last map I saw, I haven't seen one yet this year, and I don't know how last year affected them all. I want to say Illinois had anywhere from 50 to 60 throughout the state. Now you go into the burbs, and they're all over the place. Chicagoland suburbs have the big boys, and I'm in Rockford, Illinois. I understand Rockford. I'm from here. I'm born here. The rule of thumb is in the industry is for every minute the guest is in the attraction, that's $1 you should charge. So if your attraction is 30 minutes, you need to charge $30 entry fee. Like I said earlier, we're anywhere from 15 minutes if you're like running through the attraction, all the way up to 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I charge $13 or $15. And I've had a lot of people come from Chicago like, we love coming out here because you're so cheap. It's like, well, I'm not trying to price gouge people, and I understand Rockford. Rockford can't support $30 a head.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't. We can't do it out here.
Yeah.
So budget is big for us because we are a business. But yeah, we charge less than. I mean, you go to a 13th floor in Chicago, you're paying $40 a head to get in.
And
I've been told I'm a little bit better than them.
13th floor, is that the one where it's like multi-levels?
No,
in the building?
So that's we'll get into that in a second. 13th floor, it's a chain. They do like LA, Chicago. They are the true chain haunt where they have different attractions throughout the country, and it's very commercialized. But those big boys. I mean, Statesville Haunted Prison, which is outstanding, and they're in their last season. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a land dispute or business dispute. I mean, I want to say they're $40-$50 a head.
Oh wow!
And again, they've been doing it. They've been on the Travel Channel and different things like that, so they can get away with that. And they're in a Chicago suburb, so they can get away charging that stuff. I can't. I want people to experience Twist Crypt, come out and have fun.
Yeah.
We get people in Rockford that complain about paying $13 a head, and that's just human nature, I guess. I mean, but again, you're going to be in Twist Crypt for a good 20 minutes, if not more, if you're doing things right.
Very cool.
So now, the mythical haunted house that I grew up listening to. The story goes that you have a multi-level haunted house, and if you get through it, you get your money back. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist?
Doesn't exist. Never has it existed to my knowledge. HauntedIllinois.com has a nice write-up on their website about that. That was like the old wives' tale growing up was, it's 13 floors and every floor gets different, and there's slides and different things. And if you get through it, you get your money back. To my knowledge and to many people's knowledge in the industry, doesn't exist. Unfortunately, but maybe that's an idea for somebody.
Yeah, because I remember, people are like, oh yeah, I've heard about this haunted. We need to take a trip, do this, do that. I'm like, well, where is it?
And there's a really good year-round haunted attraction. And this may be something for you guys if you have never been to Raven's Grin Inn. Raven's Grin Inn is in Mount Carroll, past Freeport. It's a beautiful drive to get out there. Jim and Jessica own the house. They believe that it is a true blue haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
They have spirits, or however you want to technically call them, inside their house. They live there year round, and you can purchase a ticket and tour their home. And they have 2 different slides. You go down. They have an old limestone wine cellar. I believe it's limestone. It's beautiful, cold. They live in that house, and they give tours of that house. It's open year round. They haven't been open for more than a year because of COVID, because it's their own personal home.
Yeah.
But Jim and Jessica are wonderful people. I've taken my kids out there. I've taken friends out there. It's a cool drive. Phenomenal experience. If you want old school, hokey, horror, haunted house, and some awesome ghost stories, check out Raven's Grin.
Oh, definitely. I'll have to check that one out. Raven's Grin.
Kevin goes, here we go. Bring this guy into the GFT fold. Mothman balls, anal probing, masturbating apes. This is the way.
He had my attention with the Bigfoot giraffe debate. That was interesting.
Exactly. We've nothing is off the plate with this podcast. We get because I pull some of the craziest stories that you can find, and we just sit around, we just debate it, and we try to family friendly it a little bit when we're here at an actual business, but we get more on the raunch scale.
I've tried to watch what I say because I'm new to this. So I want to watch the language and the material.
Our language is bad, but like I said, out of respect for Liz and Randy having their business here, we're not talking about what we usually talk about.
God,
we kind of gloss it over a little bit. Now what's he gonna say?
Has he personally ever been scared by a room or feature in his own haunted house?
Oh yeah, I can admit that. Yeah, listen guys, when we're doing rehearsals, their goal is to get me. And sometimes I hang out front, and the actors will be like, "Where's Pete? Let's get Pete in here." And then I know what's coming. But then the actors will find creative ways to get me, and I can admit that I'll flinch or jump or go, holy shit, it happens, guys. I mean, I know that place like the back of my hand, so sometimes I get desensitized and I take it for granted, and people can still get me. Some of my crew, they strive to get me in the attraction. So it's like, man, I know this place, and I know everything, like every corner in here, and they can get me. I kind of feel bad for our guests.
Okay, I got a question here. How often do you get people get partly through it and white flag, I'm done?
Yep.
Do you have a pussy hallway for them to walk out?
So again, with our actors being in having walkie-talkies, they're in character, they're around. If you want out, we'll get you out.
Yeah.
We're not here to berate you and make you go in the fetal position in the corner and wet your pants. We're not about that. Again, we don't want confrontation. We don't want anger. If you want out, we'll get you out. And I've seen 8-year-olds make it through. I've seen 18-year-olds leave early. The number one question I get by parents is, do you have an age restriction? And I said, no, we do not have an age restriction. Again, I've seen teenagers leave early. I've seen kids make it. I've seen little kids leave early. You know your kid better than I do. Everybody is different. Everybody reacts differently. We do not have an age. I consider it PG-13. I'd love to do an R-rated attraction. My actors would love to do an R-rated attraction. Not touching or grabbing or anything, but more scenes and language.
Yeah.
We keep it PG-13 because we want to keep it open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if they see kids in your group, they'll back off a little bit. If it's all adults, they may let it fly a little bit more. Again, it goes back to reading that group. But if you need to leave, we will get you. They'll call a code and they'll get you out of the attraction.
Dude, we gotta go do this, dude. I'd
be one of those
houses.
Dude, I would be one of those. I'd be pissing my pants, dude. No joke. I will be code Brown or whatever it was.
When Rockford Buzz came through, Jake was filming most of it, and he was good. Courtney was like,
yeah,
I remember when Courtney came out, I put my arm around her, and I'm like, are you okay? And she's like shaking and all sweaty. I'm like, wow, this really affected you.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah, she took that hard, when she went through it.
I don't want to hype anything up because I have people that wasn't scary, and will never ask you, were you scared? I tell everybody, do not ask if the guest is scared. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
That is the question you ask. And again, I've been accused of, that wasn't scary. Okay. As long as you had fun, man. We just want to entertain. I've seen enough people get scared, so I know we're doing something right, but we're not going to scare them.
It's like, man, are you like a serial killer? Like what? None of this stuff scared you?
Oh, you would be shocked to see Twisted Crypt's Facebook Messenger, app or page.
Mm-hmm.
Do they touch you? No. can they touch me? I'm like, no, you need to go somewhere else. I get those questions. My phone bangs and I see it. And I had another one the other day, guys. This put me in a huge awkward situation. So I had this person reach out to me and they said, what are the rules of Twisted Crypt? And I, no touching, went down the rules. And she goes, well, can pregnant women go through? Oof. And I'm like, we do not have a rule that pregnant women cannot go through. However, we highly recommend that if you're pregnant, you don't go through the haunted house. Again, life choice. That decision is yours. However, you enter at your own risk. You do not hold. Here comes the law stuff. You enter at your own risk. We're not held liable if something happens. I can't make that choice for her. And some people will argue with me and say, you absolutely have to make that choice for her. No, that's not how I live my life.
Yeah.
I'm not her parent. I'm not her husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It really took me aback the other day. I got that message and I was just like, listen, I highly recommend against it. We are a safe attraction. However, accidents do happen. And I'm talking, you're walking through a dark hallway. What if you trip and fall?
Yeah.
What if the group you're with gets scared and she gets pushed she gets pushed into a wall?
Right.
I don't want that on my conscience, but at the same time, I'm sure we've had pregnant people go through without my knowledge, and hopefully they're fine.
Yeah.
But I want to protect the public as much as I can, but sometimes, man, the stuff I hear and see, it's like, wow. And, it puts us in an awkward position.
Yeah, you don't have a code for giving
birth in the attraction?
No,
don't have that code. And I hope I don't have to have that code. So, but this is dealing with the public is very difficult. It's rewarding, it's fun, but there's some times where you really scratch your head.
Yeah, definitely, because with all our different ventures and stuff like that, because we do Lego conventions, and a lot of the people that show and display and stuff like that, they'll put their stuff on a table and not interact with anyone. Us, we want to shake hands, talk to people and all that, so we totally get that whole public interaction with everybody. Have you ever had anybody like leave your attraction and be like, can I get my money back?
We've tried, or I should say we've tried. We've seen that before where people are like, whether we kick them out, whether they chicken out, I want my money back. No refunds. Sorry, that's not what we do. I've heard stories from other haunts before I got into the industry. It's like some of these money grubbers, and they would, somebody would get kicked out, and then they pitch a fit, and it's like, well, then the owner puts them right back through. Oh, I'm sorry, my crew member shouldn't have done that. Go right back through. Then they get to that same crew member, and a fight breaks out because it's like tempers are high and people are on edge, and it's like, if we are in the wrong, and one time we kicked out the wrong guy. And it was a busy night, and we called that code yellow, and the guy that we called the code yellow on kept moving. He didn't stay put, and we can't put our hands on you. We can't physically stop you.
Yeah.
So our scare actor gave the description to security. Comes in, says, "Where's the guy at?" Actor says, "Oh, he kept moving through the house." Security goes, "All right, I'll find him. What's he wearing?" Well, my actor, this is where we learned a valuable lesson years ago. My actor just goes, "Big guy in jeans and a Packers hoodie."
Oh, geez.
That was our description that we had to go on. Well, it's fall. We're in Rockford.
Football season.
We found a guy in jeans and a Packers hoodie, and we got rid of him. And he was pissed. He was mad. He's like, I didn't do anything. And the guy that should have been kicked out got through the attraction and left, and we kicked out the wrong guy. And that's the one time it happened. It makes me sick to my stomach. And when we found out that we screwed up, man, we gave him anything he wanted. We invited him back, but we apologized, obviously, up and down. But it's like, come on back. We'll give you free tickets. Bring your friends. What can we do to make this right? If we're wrong, we'll admit we're wrong. So that's the situation. So we've now very up the game on training, and that story is brought up every year. It's like, we need a description, and stereotypes and, race aside, whatever that description is, we need a description because we got to make sure we get the right guy.
Yeah.
So, but we've had people, but it's absolutely no refunds. It really, I should say that because this guy got special treatment, but if you do leave the attraction earlier, if you get kicked out, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
I'm not rewarding bad behavior, and for leaving the attraction early, my response is, well, we did our job.
Yeah, right.
We did our job. You're scared.
And
so,
definitely.
I get it. And I'm not trying to. Again, I'm not a money grubber in any way, shape, or form. But I have to. I always tell my crew, I have to draw a line in the sand. I can't. I don't like to. Gray area is a bad thing. Whatever I do for one, I have to do for all. So
Yeah.
that's what we try to stick to that.
Very cool. So once again, we're coming up. We got about a couple minutes here left. But once again, we are talking to Pete from Twisted Crypt here in Rockford, Illinois. They are running this year from September 17th to October 31st. And it is at 5420 East State Street here in Rockford, Illinois. And that is right on the main strip here in Rockford. Like I said, regular season runs until the 10th.
Yep.
And general admission is $13. Fast pass is $18. And then prime season starts on the 15th.
Yep.
So do you guys take a couple days off then?
Yeah, so I mean, the 10th, I would say, without having a calendar from me, the 10th is a Sunday.
Oh, that's
so
right, 'cause
wraps
you
it
only
up.
do-
Yep, we're
yeah,
only
okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sundays in October.
And so from prime season starts on the 15th, and it's $15 for general admission, $20 for fast pass. And it looks like you guys are on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
We're on it all. Some we do more than others, TikTok just started this year. I'm not on TikTok, don't know TikTok, but I've got a crew member that's very good, so he does the TikTok for me.
Yep. We're following you on our TikTok.
Yep,
So.
and Stacy runs the Snapchat, and I handle Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube's out there as well. I mean, some platforms are better than others, but in Twitter as well. Rockford's not a big Twitter community from what we can tell, but we're on all the platforms, and you can find us and our YouTube channel. If you search for Twisted Crypt, you should be able to find us and find our old promo videos throughout the years and different things that we've done. So yeah,
Very cool. What are the times that you guys usually run? Because I don't.
7 to 11:30 Fridays and Saturdays, and then 7 to 10 on Sundays.
We have a question from Kevin again. What's the future of the haunted house industry? More digital components, augmented reality, VR headsets, or anything like that?
VR hasn't kicked in yet. The last fad or big thing in the haunted house was escape rooms, obviously.
Yeah.
And escape rooms are still around, but a lot of escape rooms are dying. It seems like the escape rooms are big in bigger cities, Chicago, LA, New York, big, even suburbs like Schaumburg for corporate events. We kicked around doing an escape room here in Rockford. We just didn't believe Rockford could fully support the escape room.
Yeah.
I have an Oculus. I'm big on VR, and I'm a big video game guy as well. We haven't messed with that at all, VR or anything of that nature. I don't know if that's on the horizon or not. Digital is definitely digital's there. Digital projections, projection mapping, different things of that nature. It's becoming more popular. It's expensive, so I would imagine when the prices start dropping, like technology always does, you'll probably see more of it. I'm not an overly big fan of digital. I want real. Again, I mentioned I'm a big Disney nut. I love attractions like Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean that puts you in a physical environment.
Yeah.
If I'm just going to go in and as cool of a ride Soarin' is, you're hang gliding, you're just going to watch a screen or movie, not my thing. So I'm a big real sets, real characters, real environment versus digital. But there's a place for digital and certain effects. It just can't take over the industry to me.
I also have another question. What happens if one of your hunters are sick or can't make it for one of the days? What do you do for that?
It's tough. Room actors all have, or a majority of room actors have understudies. So just like theater guys, I mean, think of this as theater.
Yeah.
So we do have understudies for rooms. It's extremely hard to be what we call a dialogue actor. So half of our rooms are dialogue, the other half are just kind of experience rooms. You walk through. We have actors. We try to have actors in every single room. Dialogue's a must. Those are hard because you have to be quick-witted. A lot of improv because you don't know who's walking in that group.
You're just playing onto that group.
Yep. So, I mean, you have a story to tell, but you can get off script real quick depending on who you're dealing with. So improv is important. You have to be quick-witted. So the dialogue actors are tough. To be a dialogue actor at Twisted Crypt, you pretty much have to commit to being there every single night prior to season because filling those roles is extremely difficult. Now, if I have a teenager that has to go to a homecoming dance, I get it. If you have somebody that's sick once or twice, I get it. If you have somebody that's sick half the season, okay, I got a problem. But those roles are tough to fill. We do have understudies for that kind of thing. But, that group of 40, we're pushing I think we're at 42, but somewhere around that 40 mark for our crew this year. Some will wash out. Some will, think this is an easy job. And after the first or second weekend, be like, I'm spent. I mean, after one night last night, I went backstage because we do a pre-show meeting and a post-show meeting. I went backstage last night, and they were gassed.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm sure when I get there today, a couple of them may not have voices because it's always the newbies. You know, the newbies don't know how to take care of their voices or anything like that. So there's going to be some achy bodies and bad voices tonight, and we'll get through it. We had what we call skeleton crews, where of the 40, maybe only 20 show up.
Oh wow.
Yes, but those 20 are usually the ones that are my hardcore actors, and they will make it feel like I have 40 in this.
So since I'm an actor and I've just left that in school, do you guys do like rehearsals, or so to speak, and teach them actually how to act, or people I just want to be here because I think it would be fun and stuff like that?
Hey, we require, and this is something Rockford requires, and we're all on board for this. Every single person on our crew has to attend a pre-season safety and security meeting where we sit down with them, we go over all of our rules and regs, the guest rules and regs, where the fire extinguishers are. We go over all of our codes, run drills, we have a handbook that teaches them different things. We go through all that pre-season. And then after the safety and security meeting that they're required to go to, we have rehearsals.
Yeah.
We actually have, and usually the hallway actors, the scare actors, the jump scare actors, they kind of are our guests, and we put them through every year. So our dialogue actors have somebody to play off of. And then if you are new, we work with you. We don't just throw you to the wolves. I've had some newbies jump into that dialogue role right away. Like, oh my gosh, I need somebody. You're good. Do this. And they fly. Some crash and burn, and we make the adjustment, but some will fly. But we absolutely work with you. It's intimidating. I wish I was too scared in high school. I wish I would have went out to JC's back in high school, not knowing anybody that worked there, and just showed up to one of their meetings like, I want to do this. I didn't. I was too nervous to try something like that. So I tell anybody, if you walk through our door to volunteer, good for you. That's a big first step, just walking through the door. Then it's like, this isn't an easy job. You could get groped. Because, if you're a woman, you work in a dark hallway, there's incidental contact. Now, there's assault, and we will kick you out for assault, but there's incidental contact. It's not an easy, you're on your feet, moving around, jumping around. I mean, our actors do get breaks, and we handle breaks and stuff, but it's not as easy as people think. However, it's extremely addicting. When you can make people bigger than you flinch or scream, and, you get that adrenaline pumping, it's extremely addicting. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before, but they're required. So if somebody called me today and was like, hey, I really want to join Twisted Crypt, my answer is no. I'm sorry, you can't. You missed our safety and security meetings. You cannot participate this year. We start putting the crew together in June, August at the latest. So I always say, please check back with us next year. Hit up our Facebook page, reach out to us through Instagram, whatever, however you want to. But you have to go to one of the safety and security meetings. You have to be there for rehearsals. I'm not going to bump a loyal crew member, even if you're like God's gift. You're like, oh my God, you'd be awesome. Right. I'd have a hard time ethically bringing them in and bumping somebody that's worked their ass off for me. I just couldn't do that.
Yeah,
so it's like, come back next year.
Yeah, these guys. Apparently, Kevin's already volunteering me. So.
Come see me next year in June, August. You'll have a lot of fun.
Do you get a lot of high school kids that do this for you? Yeah. Theater kids?
High school, yep, a lot of theater. High school, college. We have young adults. I mean, again, AJ, one of my top guys down there, has been with me for a while. He kind of said to my crew, he goes, we're here because we're all rejects or weird or, I mean, it's cliche. People mock me, but it is a tight-knit little family I've got going down there. And people from all different walks of life, and theater kids and horror movie kids and young adults. And, we all are rejects, and we all kind of fit in, and you have to protect each other. And, you're doing this. It is a labor of love. It truly is a labor of love to be down there.
Yeah, it sounds like a really cool group to be with.
Yep, and I'm proud that we have about a 90% retainment rate year to year, which means I have at least 90% of the crew. I've been doing this since 2013. I have multiple crew members that are still there since 2013 with me.
Oh, wow.
That have worked at other haunts, and we've had other haunters come in, and we don't poach. We don't go out actively recruiting from other haunted houses because I wouldn't want that done to me. But we've had other haunters come in and be like, they didn't do this for us. They didn't do this for us. It's like, yeah, I appreciate your time. We will, whether it's gas money or food or whatever. I mean, we will take care of the people that take care of us, and that's just how we operate.
Very cool. Well, we're coming up to the end of the show here for our first live event here at Wolf Hollow here in Rockford, Illinois. We want to thank Pete for coming in and talking Twisted Crypt and some Bigfoot stuff, and like I said, you never know with our podcast. We talk about one thing, and right in the middle of it, I'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute, do you remember this?" Or try to just veer off on our conversation.
Movies, video games, theme parks, haunted houses. I'll talk all that stuff all day long.
Awesome.
I'll have fun with it, and I appreciate you guys having me. And do not forget about me if you ever want to bring up the equipment.
Yeah,
give
definitely.
I would totally
Twisted
love
Crypt
to.
World.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I'm sincere about that. I really do mean that.
Very cool. Yeah, we will definitely take you up on that offer because we're always looking for places to go and hunt and for content on our channel, because not only do we do podcasts here on our YouTube channel, but we also do hunts and stuff like that. And we have a really good video. We got to actually investigate this place one night.
It was pretty sick.
It was pretty interesting. Some evidence that we got through here. So here at Wolf Hollow. So it'd be nice to add you guys to that. We got Tinker Swiss in there. We got Wolf Hollow.
Have you done the Coronado?
We've done the parking lot of Coronado.
I've heard that Coronado basement has a lot of eerie stuff.
Yeah, but Coronado's got that stuff locked down.
They it's a whole committee and stuff like that.
I buy that in a heartbeat.
We went and investigated because the lady in white has been seen in the elevators of the parking lot out there. So we went and investigated that, and we got voices over the spirit box of a lady saying, "Don't go, don't go."
Yeah,
So-
my security guards, they're off-duty BMO Harris Bank Center or Coronado security guards, and I know people down there, and I can't get in that basement. So, and I know people down there. So, but I hear the stories, man. I hear it. My security guards will tell you some crazy stuff, and these are people I know and trust.
Yeah.
And for them to say that stuff to me, I was like, wow.
Yeah. So once again, it is Twisted Crypt here in Rockford, Illinois, running all weekends up until Halloween, right?
Yep. Through Halloween.
Oh, awesome. So we appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us. I believe Newsroom Nessie's around here somewhere. But if you guys want, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube for... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, click the notification bell so you get notified when we push out a new video.
Also, we are on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I did a unveiling of the Mr. Kevin Hinkle Draws poster of Elvira. So if you guys want to go and check that on TikTok, that is on TikTok, and it is an amazing print. And he actually put an Easter egg on the print saying GFT for Ghost Freaking Talking. So we appreciate everything Mr. Hinkle does. If you want to check out his awesome Halloween stickers, go and check out KevinAHinkle.com and go to his shop there. He has the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Jason, Chucky. He's got Freddy from last year. He's got a ton. And for all the kiddos out there, he's got the Five Nights at Freddy's guys. He's got a big print of Five Nights at Freddy's too. So if you guys want to go check that out, go give him some love. And on October 1st, it's October 2nd, we will be doing a live YouTube session with Mr. Hinkle Draws where he's going to be doing doodles, and you guys get to guess the creepy items that he's drawing, and then we'll be giving out prizes. So we're doing a little crossover there, so stay tuned, guys, for all the awesome action, and we will be back here at Wolf Hollow again at 3. Is it 3? Yeah, we'll be here at 3 p.m. Central, live again with the State Line Medium.
Wow.
And you guys all know my poo-pooing on Medium, so we'll get in on her, and hopefully she won't hate me at the end of the interview. So, all right, guys. Once again, thanks, Pete, and Twisted Crypt. We really appreciate it, and it was very interesting conversations we had here today. And as always,
everyone has a story to tell.
And I guess I gotta say it because Nessie's in there. Stay spooky. See you later.